Alright guys, we're going to do a weapon guide for the Car98 and the Carcano. Let's start it off. Both the Carcano and the Car98 can both be researched from the start date of the campaign, which will be right here. If you're playing a democracy faction, you can build the Car98. And if you're playing as a communist faction, the Carcano will be found in this tech tree right here, which can also be found, or also be researched on the first year that you start the game. Alright guys, we're going to go over the cost of how to manufacture the weapons here. So to make a Car98, you need 2 iron, 3 wood, and make a Car98 mod is also 2 iron, 3 wood. Some of the suppressors and stuff that I'm going to go over to, 2 aluminum for the M2 suppressor, Vortex 2 aluminum, and the EOT is 2 aluminum also. I was going to go over how long it takes to research everything, but the game is actually kind of random with it, because depending on which faction you start as, you'll have different territories, and you can have more scientists than other factions, or it can also range for how many scientists you have. So Sombro has between 14 and 17 when he starts, and that's a huge range, and it's kind of weird. I don't really know how they balance the early game with it being that random for how you research stuff. And these right here, each base or each faction will start with different ones, right? Those are random too. Anywhere you could get the oil one, you could get copper, iron, aluminum, or gold. That's random too, which is also very weird. But let's go take a look at the Carcano real quick. Alright guys, now we're over to the communist side to check out the Carcano, which also takes 2 iron, 3 wood, 2 iron, 3 wood for the mod version too. And what I was talking about was, like, when I did it on Sombro, it took 109 days to do the suppressor, compared to 83 here, the same. I think it was like 59 days for the RPG, 50 days here, depending on how many scientists and stuff you have, which is random when you're spawning at a range. Like, look, he starts with 18. The other one started with, what was it, 15 or 16? So this dude researches stuff 10 days faster per item. It's just too random to do the information I wanted to do for that stuff, because, you know, if I'm like, oh, it takes 96 days to get to the Car98 mod, it's like, well, no, it isn't. I started with 17 scientists, so it's only 64 days, and it's like, it would just be useless information. But let's go check out the weapons in combat. Alright, and really quick before we get into the combat of this, the Car98 uses 7.92 by 57, which is right here. And the Carcano uses 7.62 by 54, which I can show you. I assume some of my dudes gotta have it right here. Right here. 7.62 by 54. So they'll be down here at the bottom tiers of these two ammo brackets here. So the Car98 and Carcano are very good early game weapons for whether you're playing the communist side or the democracy side. Against militia and police units, they do a lot of damage. Any headshot, I believe, to pretty much any unit in the game will kill for these weapons because they have such a high caliber round. But you gotta hit them in the head for those. The early game ones you can kill pretty easily. Once they start getting to regular or elite soldiers, it takes quite a few body shots to kill them, and they become pretty much obsolete at that point. But we'll pretty much be going over these weapons right here as an early game option, because, face it, if you're 4 years into the campaign, you're probably not using these unless you have it on just some garrison dudes or something like that. Alright, but we're just going to test it a couple times as a stock Car98, which you know, it's still a decent weapon if you're just starting the campaign off or whatever, but... One headshot will kill them. Unless you miss. Alright, but as you can see, the stock Kar 98 is pretty decent when you're against early game infantry and stuff like that. Now we're going to test out the stock Carcano, which is going to pretty much be the same. It's just going to be the communist version of it. It's still a pretty good option to use early game. Let's try out. This is how I would have them built for the basic infantry early in the game, because you can get these E-dots very, very early. You can buy them for really cheap, and you can attach them to your Kar 98 mods, which are just better than the Kar 98 just because you can add an optic to it. But these are, you know, pretty nice. Makes it a lot easier to hit than the iron sights. Very easy to produce. Very easy to upkeep. So it's so much easier to shoot with when you just have these on there. Still just an early game option for just your basic infantry that you would want to use, or a garrison that you'd want to outfit. But we'll go shoot some more stuff with this so you can see some more. Now this is probably the best way to use them early game, is just with the E-dot on them and stuff. It's a really cheap way to outfit your troops with a decent weapon early game. However, it's not my favorite way to use them, and I'll show you my favorite way to use them in just a minute. And the same goes for the Carcano. I'm essentially treating them as interchangeable because one side gets this and one side gets the other. I mean, you can get them both early by either buying or trading them, or picking them up off the battlefield in early game battles. You know, if you have good aim, you know, you can pop heads with these things throughout your entire playthrough. I'm pretty sure they go through all levels of helmets. And good trick if you're doing a campaign playthrough is you can pick off these trucks here, or these little jeeps here. You can pick their gunners out, and then they can't shoot anymore. The AI doesn't seem to replace the gunner with another troop on the battlefield. You can yourself can do that if yours gets shot out, but the AI doesn't really seem to do it. Just a easy tip there. Oops. See the bullet arc past my head because everything's got gravity now, which is why I currently am doing this weapon guide instead of doing shotguns or pistols, even though they're, you know, earlier game weapons, is because once you add the gravity, as soon as you can make these things, the pistols and shotguns are pretty much useless. Before gravity was added, they traveled infinitely and you would get sniped by, you know, shotguns, but now with the muzzle velocities and the gravity, not only do those weapons not go as far, but they do less damage at further range, so pretty much never going to be using them. Alright, but now that I've showcased both weapons, let's go on to my favorite way to use these weapons. So I would definitely say the best way to use them is what I just showed you, as an early game infantry like that, or you can do what I like is use them as the earliest game snipers you can get. You can get them in about the first year of the campaign, which is really good, especially because a lot of vehicles early have exposed gunners. You can snipe the truck drivers out, or you can snipe anyone with RPGs that you can see because you can see them on the model. But I equipped it with an M2 suppressor onto a Kar98 mod with a vortex sight, which is my favorite way to use them. It is not as practical as just using the EDOT for early game infantry and stuff like that, because this takes up a lot more resource to do. But, you know, I just made a 5-man recon team of militia and gave them the snipers. Also, since they're suppressed, they'll draw less attention and they're less likely to die. So, you know, you can use them yourself or have the AI use them. You can also get them into fun spots, like on top of these things. The AI can glitch up there, and you can get like high ground and stuff like that. Which I'll show you that after I display the weapon that I made. And remember, all of these sights now are zeroed into about 100 meters for everything, just to compensate for gravity and stuff like that. They just have pretty much everything already zeroed into 100.
Enemy down. Enemy down. Tango down.
So I never thought the suppressors were as strong as they really are, because, you know, they're not even returning fire.
Enemy down. Enemy down. Tango down.
You can save yourself a lot of your infantry early game
Tango down.
by doing this, picking stuff off yourself. Like, they don't even know where I'm at. If I had a normal rifle, they would pinpoint me immediately and immediately return fire. He finally saw me because I was close to him. That was a grenade. Ooh. That damaged me. You know, we can take our dudes, go on top of these railings here. It can be a little buggy to get up there, but...
Visual on target. Tango down. Target spotted.
So I wish there was a climb button like they have the ladders. Let me get up there. Oops, I missed. Also, your AI can be suppressed too, and you know you can take and have them follow you around, and you can pick off a lot of stuff that way until they're completely oblivious to a dude walking up right next to them like an idiot. Now, the Vortex is the best scope you can get for these early game, because the real scopes, like the 24 times or whatever it's called, 5 times, is not until the year 2026 is when it unlocks. So the Vortex is the furthest sight scope that you can get early game, which is still very good.
Affirmative. Enemy down. Yes, sir. Need medic.
Alright, see, I am up here now. Because my AI just glitched up here, or I don't know if the AI takes the ladders or what, but they will glitch up here. I don't know how they get up here because there's no climb button. And you can get your guys into very nice positions here where you can snipe stuff yourself.
Tango down. Enemy down.
But it's a nice little tip to use to, you know, use your snipers however you want. You can use it with, you know, if you get FALs or something like that too, with some nice scopes. You can put them on top of buildings like that. It works easier in buildings that you can go inside of. I think that's where they mostly glitch on top of,
Down.
onto the top of the building. Kill them all!
Tango down. Target spotted.
Oh no, have I been spotted? We've been spotted!
Target spotted. Target eliminated. Enemy engaged. Target in range. Target spotted. Opening fire. Target in range. Target spotted. Enemy down. Target eliminated.
And remember, when shooting at these far ranges, you do have muzzle velocity and all that stuff now too, bullet velocity. So you do have to lead them while shooting at far ranges if they're running, so... I wish if I clicked and held, it would stop the reload so I can see where the bullet is landing, so it's actually very difficult. Like I hit him in the head right there.
Fire. Target eliminated.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I'm going to do all these weapon guides, is show you what I think the best way to equip them is, show them stock, and show you my favorite way to use them. Which my favorite way to use them might not be the best, like this, because it takes up a lot of early game iron and aluminum to make these optics and suppressors. Which you might need that to, you know, make something else. But it's really fun to do.
Tango down. Fire. Target spotted.
Plus, I'm obsessed with sniper rifles and war games. They're very fun to use.
Open fire. Target in range. Target eliminated.
I think that hit him.
Enemy down. Target eliminated.
Oh no! Pretty much all there is to show for the Kar 98 and Carcano. They're pretty basic bolt action early game weapons. But If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be putting out more weapon guides and other content related to this game soon. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's any other things about these weapons you would like me to cover, please let me know down in the comments. I went over everything that I could think of, but if there's something else you guys would like to see, just let me know. Thanks for watching.